finishing up a long drive today.
9 hours from Overland Park, Kansas, but we made it in here, and there is not much in terms of grocery stores or gas stations once you get off of 65 heading towards Mammoth Cave.
We're just checking in tonight, and then tomorrow's our big day. We'll have a cave tour in the morning, and then we decided to do a very mellow canoe ride.
Green River.
There's no Wi-Fi here, and there's only like 1 or 2 bars on the phone, so no surfing the internet. I'm gonna sit outside, have a little snack. I stopped at Subway on the way in. There is a town, Cave City, that's about 15 minutes from here, but we passed through a small town. They had a Subway and they had a small grocery store. It's about 6 o'clock at night, so we decided to take a short walk before turning in. This is the map. We want to do the Heritage Trail, but we're coming down here now. We're going to come back up on this dotted line and then connect and just do a loop before going back to our cabin, which is over here. Pretty smooth trail, huh?
Look at this concrete trail, man. This is Betty's kind of trail, but you do a face plant on this, you're in big trouble.
It would hurt. Scenic overlooking 0.1 miles. I think it may be worth a little walk down here. I don't know how they count, but 0.1 and 0.1 is 0.2. Well, that doesn't make sense to go downhill to get an overlook. I think that just continues the trail, the sink trail. So, I don't know. There's a bench. Maybe there was an overlook at some point.
We were standing at this exact location in December on our way down from Fort Knox to Memphis, Tennessee. But we couldn't get into the visitor center. 6 months has passed and we're back at Mammoth Cave, and we're gonna do the historic cave tour.
So now I can take it off the bucket list. We're heading down into the cave tour. Sounds like it's gonna be pretty interesting. Lots of stairs, lots of scrunching in places, and almost crawling in the one place, so we'll see. It's 2 hours, 2 miles, 500 and some odd steps.
Oh man, this is gonna be historic.
We all know what we're getting ourselves into. So about 2 miles inside the cave that we're gonna do today, 550-ish stairs. 60 some of those will be to get us down into the cave, and then after that, for about 3/4 of a mile, we won't have any stairs, because the first half of our tour is going to be in those big mammoth-sized passageways, right? So big you could fit a school bus on top of a school bus through there. They're huge. It's after we go around the giant's coffin where the cave's going to change a little bit on us. Walls are going to come in a little bit. Ceiling's going to start to get low from time to time. We're going to start going down a lot of stairs to get us down to the lowest point on our cave tour. And we're going to go across 2 pits today, so 2 vertical shafts. So if you are someone that does not like heights, don't look into the pit. Yeah. And then we're going to go through a place called Fat Man's Misery. It's a keyhole shape, so really wide at the top, kind of like a mushroom, and really skinny from about our waist down. All the kids we have with us, they're going to do just fine. You're going to love it, right? The rest of us that are taller than kids, we're going to be hunched over a little bit because it's a shorter passageway too, about 5.5 feet or so. I'm 5'9", and I kind of walk through there like this, right? And it's a winding passageway too, and it's so skinny that we got to kind of turn to get through there. So we turn this way, and then we turn this way, We're doing this winding, and you're thinking to yourself, it can't get any worse from this moment. Then it does. But only for like 30 seconds, okay? It's not for a long time. At the end of Fat Man's Misery, it's called Tall Man's Agony. The floor comes up 2 feet. The ceiling does not. And we'll be at our lowest point where we'll have some benches we can sit down on. And we sit down on those benches because what goes down has to come back up. And we do that through Mammoth Dome, about 180 some feet tall. And we're gonna see it from the bottom and then walk all the way to the top almost. We're gonna do that through a 155 stair fire tower. So not all at once, right? All those stairs aren't just like one straight up. They're kind of like a spiral staircase almost. About every 10 to 12 stairs there is a landing. And then after we get up through there, we'll be back to almost where we started. We'll exit the cave, and then you gotta walk back up this hill that you forgot about.
Just finished our tour. What was it called?
Historic entrance tour.
It was 2 hours.
2 hours. It was the first entrance that they discovered when they came through here. All the big domes and the big areas were in there. Talked about how the caves were formed with the waters and the rivers running below the level. Carved out the sandstone and the limestone into some very interesting formations. There is some big rooms inside this historic room. You could play a band and do a concert inside a couple of these rooms. And then there's some very tight squeezes. Fat Man's Misery.
Man.
What'd you think about Fat Man's Misery?
That was tight. My hips, I had to turn to the side a little. So, yeah, it had it all. You had a stoop. It had these big caverns, and it was a dry cave though. There's not a lot of water in there, and no stalactites or stalagmites.
But this is only 2 miles of close to 400 miles of cave. One of the early explorers started exploring this in the 1800s, and it's continually explored up to this date. There was some big improvements made in the 70s. It went from a 140-mile cave when it was named a national park in 1941 to close to 400 miles today. So there's still exploration teams connecting ridge system trails to this, and it's unbelievable. Right underneath us is just miles and miles of
Caves. You ready for a canoe trip?
This is gonna be like movie Deliverance.
Oh, okay.
We are on the Green River and outside of Mammoth Cave, Kentucky, and it's green. Now I know why they call it the Green River.
I'll let Vito do all the work.
Green River, man.
This
Creedence
thing-
Clearwater Revival.
This thing's actually moving faster than I thought it would be.
Let's break on the Green River. And we are moving down the Green River with John Fogarty. And this is one of the deeper rivers in the country, actually. It's close to 200 feet deep in some spots. So we are heading towards the Green River Ferry. And I don't know if this is 8 miles down the river or 15 miles down the river, but we'll see.
Listen to all the birds. I got some turtles sunning themselves on this log. Looks like we're getting close. We made it back. Well, we survived being on the river together.
A little rough on the back. 3 hours are rough on the back sitting on a canoe. That was the toughest part. Was Betty wasn't really doing a lot of upper body row.
He wanted to go fast, and I didn't care. I wanted to go just the speed of the current, and he's like trying to go faster. And I'm like, if you're gonna do it, because I ain't. So if you're considering doing the canoe ride or kayak rental, we went with Green River Canoeing, and it cost us $60, a little over with tax, and we were on the river for 2.5 hours. Most people, they average about 3 hours. You can stop at some different islands. We just stopped once for a snack and then kept on going. So that's the scoop.